Hello and welcome to another edition of American Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Ed Foxworth. We're here on the Detroit riverfront at the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel, owned by Mr. Michael V. Roberts. We have the great opportunity to talk about the state of black business and get his perspective. Mr. Michael Roberts, how are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Delighted to be with you today.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. When we talk with you, what we're trying to find out, if you could, take us a little bit back to St. Louis. Take us to North St. Louis and tell us about that childhood time.
Well, absolutely. Well, I was raised by basically middle-class parents. My mother was a teacher. My dad was a postal employee. He rose to be supervision level. I always jokingly tell people we weren't rich, we weren't poor, we just never had any money.
Okay.
But we had a very solid family. I'm one of four. I'm the oldest of four. I have two brothers and a sister. And my brothers are with me in business, as is my sister. My mom still helps where she can in her mid-80s now, and my dad is just turning 90, and he still comes to the office every day. But we always ask him, Dad, what can we pay you? And he said that to his sons, you can't pay me anything. He said it would affect my government pension.
Oh, okay.
So I encourage people, if anybody has a parent who was, you worked for the government for 39 or 40 years like my dad, hire them, because maybe you could get them for free.
Sure. Well, now you and your brother Stephen have formed the company, the Roberts Companies.
Yes.
Tell us what that's about.
Well, back when I came out of law school, I started a company. My brother was going in, interestingly enough. In the very week I graduated from law school, my brother was graduating within a 2-week period, and my mother was graduating from college. So it shows that she had tenacity to keep going in light of raising 4 kids and doing everything she had to do to make ends meet. So I was very pleased with that moment in time, if you will. But Dad and Mom were great people, and they were not business people per se, really. So right out of law school, I was elected to the Board of Aldermen. It's our city council. Actually, what happened was when many of my friends were moving to the suburbs after law school, I moved 2 blocks from the projects where I lived for 10 years. And all 4 of my kids were born there. And it was an interesting time because as the elected official there for 8 years, I had to deal with all the challenges. At the same time, I was developing businesses. I was developing buying property, inner city property, much like the property that we see in many of our cities today, especially in Detroit, where it's very opportunistic. Now, for those of us who had no money during that time, and since it didn't cost very much money, we could do it. And over time, I just grew more real estate, then began to diversify more into television and radio. I owned ultimately about 15 television stations over the years, 1 radio station. I now own shopping centers. There's 12 hotels in our portfolio, including, of course, the one here in the great city of Detroit that we're sitting in today. There's a variety of other businesses, about 76 companies in total. We've grown from nothing to where we are. We've taken about 3 companies public, participated in 3 public companies over the years. And you know, I got to tell you, it's a challenge, but it's something that we as African Americans can rally to. So, like I said, we didn't really have anything in the beginning other than taking the time to get a good education.
And that point is the point that I think most of our entrepreneurs kind of find themselves. What would you say for them is the, I don't like using the word secret, but what is it? I mean, we are running around with business cards and no business plan.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily put forward the effort to understand the logistics and the action behind. And I know you're big on the word action.
I am.
To get to the next level.
Well, to your point of action, the title of my book is Action Has No Season. And in the book, I coined the word the actionaire. An actionaire is one who takes their dreams, their ideas, their vision, their perspective on things, and they pursue them with courage and confidence and bravado. The way I look at it is very philosophical first, because I think we have to get our minds around certain things. Every day when you wake up, you're given 86,400 seconds. That's 24 hours. And in every moment that you exist, the moment in which you exist, it goes as quickly as you think of it.
Sure.
So therefore, you have to live every moment to its fullest extent. So if you have an idea or a dream, go for it. I ask people frequently, what would your life be like if you could eliminate the fear of failure? Now let's break that down. Just 2 words. First word, fear. Fear is nothing but a mental construct. It is not of nature. It's not grass growing. It's not the wind blowing. When you were born perfect. You had no fear. You've allowed that to be implanted in your mind. So the question is, how do we get it out of our mind? And that's up to the individual to eliminate fear as a mental construct. Second word, failure. I submit to you there's no such thing as failure. Now you may say, well, Michael, what do you mean by that?
Sure.
In those 86,400 seconds, you go through experiences. Now, you may go through a relationship, you may go through a business where the outcome isn't as you would have liked. Well, did you gain from that at all? Did you learn from that? Those who may be facing divorce, or those who may be finding a business that didn't quite make it, you learn from it, you gain from it, you're better for it. It may not be the outcome you wanted, but you did gain from it. Therefore, you really didn't fail. So therefore, now I'm asking everybody to think about it. If your life was fulfilled by eliminating the fear of failure, where would you be today in your ideas and your dreams and your aspirations? So in my book, Action Has No Season, I move people to think philosophically first, because we have to get that implanted. Too often, we think in metaphors. We think in concepts that people create for us.